thought I would do a quick January roundup with how I got on things I made, and I kept a record. I started a bullet journal. It's not a pretty one, but I did some facts and figures, and I thought you might be interested to know how much I spent on fabric and patterns in January, so I will get onto that in a bit. I have just made, so into the very end of January, I made another blouse, which was the Avid Seamstress The Blouse. It's called The Blouse by the Avid Seamstress. I've made this before. Now this is a very loose fitting top. It doesn't have any darts in it, so it does sort of hang, but I found tucked in, it's nice and flowy and it's not restrictive at all. It doesn't have like official cuffs, which is actually makes it a lot quicker to make, because it just has an elasticated cuff. Let me just go and grab it actually, because I was cold, so I'm not wearing it, but I have got some photos of me in it, and I'll just go and get it because it's upstairs. Hang on. Oh, and I forgot to say, welcome to my sewing room at night. It's just so dark. Like, I'm really struggling to film in daylight because I'm just really busy. And then by the time I've got time to film, I'm either doing something else or then it's gone dark. So I have got the lights going on today. So hopefully you'll see the true colour of this. Now this is, I showed you this fabric in one of my previous Sew Your Colours 22 videos. There's a link in the description box to the playlist for Sew Your Colours 22. It's the challenge that I'm running for all year to sew fabric into clothes, should I say, in your colour palette. So I've explained before that there's a free app that you can use if you haven't had your colours done like professionally. This gives you quite a good guide of what your colours are that suit you best. Mine came through as Cool Winter. I'll also put a link down to that video in the description box, so you know what the challenge is all about. But this, it was described as turquoise, and I just wasn't sure if it was my colour. I wasn't sure if it was too green. It's a viscose, and I got it from Sew UK, and it's really nice. It's a really good quality one, and it really behaved itself. It didn't drop out or anything. And I've bought, or when I made the sort of like a reddy pinky colour of the blouse before, that was also from the same shop. So I knew it was going to be quite good, it was going to be good quality. So this is the cuff that I was talking to you about. So it's elasticated, and it's a 3/4 length sleeve. Now one thing I forgot to do for this version is when I made it previously, I felt that it hits here and then it sort of blouse-ons a bit, a funny length on me, because I'm 5'3". I must have short arms, shorter than perhaps what the pattern is drafted for. So I was going to take between 1/2 inch and 1 inch out of the sleeve length, so it sits like a bit higher up, so I didn't have so much fabric in the sleeve, but I completely forgot until I'd cut it out. So I had 1.5 meters of this fabric, which is fine because you're cutting obviously the back on the fold, and then the front is done as 2 separate pieces, but the sleeve you can't cut on the fold. I didn't have enough fabric really to do that, so I cut one, flipped it, and then cut it lower down. I mean, I probably could have folded the fabric the other way, but sometimes it's not great when it's a viscose. It can like shift about, so it's fine. I cut them 2 single ones, and I literally just had enough. I cut the collar out, and then I realised of course I need 2 collars, and I just had enough, and then the rest, it was literally just strands of fabric left. I couldn't have cut anything else on it, so I couldn't cut a new sleeve. So for next time, hopefully I will remember. Now I've done this is my 3rd blouse of this one, and I have made it twice with 1 inch taken out at the waist, because I normally shorten all bodices by 1 inch, and I did that for this one, or for the previous ones, but then I found, because I wear it tucked in all the time, it was sort of becoming untucked. If I bent over to do something or reach for something, I was then having to tuck that back in. So for this one, I unstuck, because I'd folded up the pattern piece, so I printed it at home and put some Scotch tape on it. So I just cut through the Scotch tape and opened the pattern out and put that inch back into the length, and it's fine. It's so much better. So for me, as 5'3", this is a good length because I can have that tucked in and it's not going to keep coming out. It is quite a loose fitting shirt, like I said. The one thing that annoyed me is not to do with the shirt itself, it's the buttonholes. Now I have a Viki DX7 which I purchased towards, well, yeah, the latter part of last year, and it has an attachment on the buttonhole foot that you then have, and you have to put your fabric in between these two sort of metal plates. Now the manual does say you can take that off, because I took it off when I made the Marlo sweater, but it says for slippery fabrics keep that clamp on, that like clamping plate, but I couldn't see where the fabric was because it just, you couldn't see because it was so bulky. So when I put the buttonhole in, this is my third attempt. And look how off center it is. Can wait for that to focus so it's not focused on my face. So here, and then we have, so this one is centered, and then this one, it's really off, and it's a nightmare because I had to unpick it, and it was really messy, and it's stitched so small and so tight I couldn't really neatly unpick it. Thankfully the fabric is patterned, and by the time you've done the buttons up no one can see it, but because of that, because I've got so many of the buttonholes, I only realised afterwards that I have spaced out my buttons too far apart. So I wouldn't wear it done up at the very top, but I'll just quickly, I don't know if you can see, so I had about, between the top halfway through the button to the next buttonhole, so 5 inches, and it's too much. So this is how spaced out the buttons are, and it's like gaping. Now I have worn blouses like this before, and in viscose they can easily come undone, so this has plenty of room. So I automatically just wore a little vest top underneath it. Plus you can't really wear a cardigan because you've got that sort of balloon puff sleeve. It doesn't really go, you can't really put a cardigan over that. So to warm up, because it's been really cold this week, I just wore a vest top underneath. Oh, excuse me, it's coughed. Yeah, so I wore a vest underneath, and it meant if there was any gaping, it's fine because it's just, I'm all covered up. But I should have put more buttons on, I should have put them closer. Does anyone else do that? If you do buttons or the closure or like the hem, because it's the last thing you do, you sort of had enough by then, you just want it finished and then you rushed, but then they are like the finishing touches. They are the thing. And I thought if I leave it and go back to it another day, it will be sat there for a week. And I really wanted to just finish it, because I made it last Sunday. I just wanted to get it done because I'd made all the alterations. Well, obviously I forgot to do the sleeve, but because I'd made it previously, I'm not a pattern repeater, so I don't often make the same pattern again. So for me it's quite refreshing, other than like t-shirts and knits and things. But for a woven garment, it was quite refreshing to be able to just pick up a pattern and then just make it up. Now for this one, I did a 1-inch nap previously, so I obviously just recut it. I didn't do the adjustments this time, but this pattern has been altered for me, and I did a 1-inch narrow shoulder adjustment. And because it's so loose, normally I grade out at the waist and the hips, but this time I graded in. So I started off at, I think it was like from the top of my head, something like a 6, and went down to a 4, because if you look at the finished measurements on this, there's a lot of ease in this pattern. So that's what I would say. And if you are new to sewing blouses, this is the perfect pattern, because you haven't got to worry about the cuffs, because there are no darts to put in. There's no separate button placket. It literally folds it over. You don't even have to put interface. I mean, you can, but I didn't. You don't have to even put interfacing on the button band. So it's really easy to cut out. So you've got the front, the back, the sleeves, and the collar pieces, and that's it. No extra bits. And the instructions, they are photo instructions, but they're really clear. So I kind of skipped through because I've made it before and because I've made blouses before, but if you haven't, this really sort of holds your hand. So it's one I would really recommend, but check out the finished measurements on that so you can pick your size. But I would say worn tucked in, it doesn't matter if it's a bit big. So that was this week's make. So that was in my cool winter palette, and from the feedback I've had on Instagram, everyone agrees that that is a good colour on me. So I'm quite keen to get on and do other things in blues. I'm thinking of maybe the blue theme. Maybe our next one do a blue. So the other things that I made this month, the other things that I made in January were face masks. I made about 9 of them, because at the time when I made them, myself and my son were still required to wear them all the time at school. Those regulations have relaxed quite a bit, so although we both have a mask on us if we're in certain situations, it's not as stringent. We don't have to wear them all the time. So I've got loads of really nice masks, and yeah, we're not wearing them as much, but I've got them, they're made and they're done. So if they bring in if the rules change again, I've got them and they're good to go. So that was a batch sew. And then the other thing was the Danielle top, which I showed in last week's video, I think it was, which I'd made it in the French terry, the loop back French terry fabric, which was awful because it didn't have any stretch, so it was so tight on my arms. And that, I double checked what size I made on that one. I made a medium. So I think, and there's a 14, 16, there's more than one medium, which is a little bit confusing. And I think I did the 14, 16 medium, which I think I would do again on the top, possibly try and take some length out of the shoulders and maybe just hitch it up a bit, but I would grade out at the hips, because although I cut the petite and the instructions said to go by the bust size, it was just too tight around my hips, so I would definitely grade out. But I do want to make that pattern again, but I just don't have any fabric at the moment to make it in. But that is one that I will get around to doing. The other thing that I did was I did a 12 for the Viki Sews Anna trousers. I was really pleased with the fit on these, because they hang quite nicely at the back, and all the previous issues I've had with excess fabric or sort of drag lines and things, I didn't seem to have it with this. I made it in a stretch Benga line fabric, but I cut them so the stretch is actually the wrong way. So it's effectively made in a fabric it doesn't need stretch in the fabric, and the way I cut the fabric didn't have the stretch in the right place, so that's quite indicative of what the sizing is like. But because there was like a petite top, a short option, I found that the proportions were really good, so I'm really happy. But like I said before, because I'm on Slim & World, I do want to lose a few more inches. So I'm not going to buy any like decent fabric until maybe a couple of months time, and then I'm going to try it again. But I just wanted to see how it was. I saw this fabric at 99p a metre, bought 3 metres just to sort of cut out and try, because I thought that is like a trousering fabric. There is another 12 that I forgot to show you. So I will just hold it up. I just need to quickly change my camera battery. I bought the Deer Doe Melilot, which I told the tale of a few weeks back, but I cut out a 12, and I realised because I cut it I printed it as a layered pattern, I printed out 3 sizes rather than all the sizes, and then I thought, why is this so small? So the hip area fits fine, but the top bit, and then I realised I printed a size smaller than what I needed, and then I ended up cutting the smallest size, and I was like, why have I done that? So yeah, so this is it. Oh, I see all my scruffs now. So this fits fine at the waist, at the hips. Then it's like really pulling, and I've opened up the side, I've opened up the armhole. It was like completely, when I tried it on originally, it was like that, and I just thought, why is that so small and so tight up here? But I think the issue is that I printed off, so when I graded out, and this was fine, but this one I just cut way too small, so I've reprinted the pattern, but I may find that I need to do that and then do a full bust adjustment, so I need to play around with that. But that is something I'm hoping. So yeah, from like there down, that's fine. Everything else, it's like, yeah, too small. So I will probably fiddle about with that one at some point. Right, the cardigan is coming back on. I'm wearing my lark tee, boat neck lark tee, and I've got the Marlo cardigan on. This is huge. This one is in a cable knit fabric that I got from First for Fabrics, and it's really snuggly, and I did grade down. I think I did a 10 to a grading to a 14 at the hips, so it feels fine on the hips. But this here, it's just really big, and I feel like it's too big on me. So I think if I make this again, because I've made about 3 of these, because there's a good cardigan just to like put on and cozy up to, I think I need to size down again. I can't size down too much on the hip area, but on the sleeves and everything, it just feels really big. But I thought I'd just see that. I don't have that much footage of this cardigan actually, but I have worn it quite a bit. And it's a nice wrap up cardigan. And I do like cardigans, and I've seen, has anyone else seen the new Tilly and the Buttons pearl cardigan with the wrap? I do like it, but I'm not sure about the strap that goes around the back. It kind of pulls it in. What I would like is where you have a cardigan like this, and you do like a little tie, and then that wraps over it, and then you just have a tie in the waist seam, and then it just ties off, rather than have a strap which goes all the way around the back. I guess that is something that I could perhaps, if I bought the pattern, I could perhaps adapt it to change the ties, because I have a wrap skirt. I have a couple of like wrap skirts and things where they go around the back, and then sometimes the wraps don't, the ties don't stay in place, they sort of ride up, and then, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Let me get back to my list. Let's have a look. So yes, I've shown you the toiles. So they are the sort of makes that I've done in January. And I did buy, oh, I think I might do a separate post about the hashtag Sew Your Colours 22, because there's quite a few makes on there, and I just wanted to like showcase some of the things, but I need to check who has tagged me and who hasn't, because I said I would share the people who had tagged me, but anyone who's just used the hashtag without my name, I wouldn't share. So I don't really have time today, because I'm filming this Thursday night. I don't have time to just double check it, and I don't want to share someone's photo and they're not happy about it. So I will bring you a video soon with hopefully with a January roundup of the Sew Your Colours 22 makes that people have put on, and so obviously this is year long, so I'm hoping that February we're going to see some more, and then obviously going towards spring there'll be different kinds of makes. So many people have joined in because they've got their colours done, so I'm hoping that, you know, now people are looking at fabric and that they will be encouraged to then make something in those fabrics. Now what am I looking for? Oh yes, I forgot. So I bought, do you know what, anyone who's seen my decluttering video, because I did a few decluttering videos last year and I had a bit of a manic, my sewing room's complete, my house is a complete mess, so I got rid of bags and bags. I was decluttering solidly for 3 weeks. I have one Kallax drawer left which had a few bits and bobs in, and now it is rammed and I need to sort it out, and I need to declutter. And I think that's the thing, like once you declutter, it's never done because things accumulate, so I need to go back through that again. But sidetracked again. I bought a pattern on eBay actually this week, which is New Look K, which suggests it's with a, yeah, it must have come with a magazine at some point, with Sew magazine. It says 6351, and I haven't bought a big full pattern for ages, but I've had success with New Look patterns in the past. But I was looking for a jacket pattern. Now this one, I don't know if she's hitched them up or whether they are 3/4 length sleeves all the time, but I haven't told you, but my brother-in-law is getting married in May. So that's my husband's brother, and it's going to be the first family wedding since our wedding, which is coming up to nearly 18 years. So it's going to be quite a big, not a big wedding, but like a sort of significant thing, because they live in Northern Ireland. We haven't been over there for 4 years. We last saw my mother-in-law 2 years ago. She came over January 2020 before everything hit the fan and all the lockdowns and everything else. So we haven't sort of seen them for a long time. So I'm not really sure. The wedding is, I mean, Northern Ireland in May. So could be chucking it down, could be cold. Whatever it is, I need to do a dress, but I thought I need to have a jacket, but I wanted something with some shaping. And so this one, oh, it only shows you, if I show you the line drawing, it only shows you as view D. The back of the jacket it's not showing you the front of the jacket, but the front of the jacket from the pictures looks like it might be princess seamed, so then it would have a bit more shaping to it. And I thought I didn't want the full, I wanted a 3/4 length because if I'm wearing it with a dress, and I just wanted some shaping. I didn't want anything too boxy and formal, but which would look a bit smart. I think the wedding is in a marquee in their, you know, in like the parents' grounds, got a land, farm. Don't really know. I've met my future sister-in-law once 4 years ago, and we've like, on like the WhatsApp and stuff, but you know, I don't really know like the setup. If it's like a casual wedding, I don't think it's a really formal, I don't think it's gonna be a really formal wedding. So I was thinking about the Deer Doe Melilot dress, but that'll be a whole different video about wedding guest dresses. But that is one pattern I've bought. And talking of patterns, I will move on to my bullet journal and just show you or tell you what I bought. I'll just get rid of that receipt. So, and also my bullet journal is not, you know, this is the extent to my artistic skills. So do not think that you have to be really artistic. But I did statistics. So I had a page of different figures, facts and figures, and I took, because I'm doing Slim World, I made a note of my bust, my waist, my hips, my weight, and a few other things in there as well. Just like, you know, when I uploaded the video, I just made a note of when I did that, or an Instagram post or a reel or something like that, just so I could kind of know, you know, how often I'm doing it, because I want to try be a bit more consistent. So when I compared, because I took my stats down as well. I think I did remeasure myself after tea tonight. So I've lost 1/2 inch off my bust. I think 1 inch off my waist, and hips, 1/2 inch off my hips. Maybe that's 1/2 inch off my waist. Maybe it's 1/2 inch all over, and I've been a bit like, pull the tape measure a bit tight. But I'm quite happy with that. I've got a way to go, but I'm pleased that it's going down, but that's why I don't want to make too many fitted woven things. But obviously like a shirt or a blouse, that has a bit of like relaxed ease and fit in that anyway. Now the other thing that I wanted to show you, where is it? Here. So I did a page here called my purchases. So on my left page, I've put my fabric, and then on my right, I've put my pattern. Now, if anyone follows Wandering Bobbin, Katie over there, she did a video, and this is what sort of inspired me to do it, that Katie has a video of how much she spent for the whole of 2021 on everything. I think she even made a note of notions as well. So if I can find it, I will link her video down below in the description box, because it's quite interesting, and I think she must like facts and figures, and I think she must have had some kind of spreadsheet rather than a scribble in a notebook. But I thought actually that's quite handy, because I do work for a budget. I don't have a big disposable income. You won't see really big fabric hauls. I don't have a lot of storage space, and too much stuff is overwhelming, so I like to have just a few bits and pieces, and then I like to try and use those pieces and then replenish. So I'm trying not to buy the pearl cardigan. I don't really have any knit fabric in my stash at the moment. I have one black, but it's not cotton knit. It has got some polyester, I think, in there, so I'm not sure what I'm going to make of that. Originally it's going to be a skater dress, but I am sort of itching to get some jersey fabric. But this is sort of like reminding me that I have bought fabric, and so I have it and I need to use it before I buy anything else. So I bought 2 lengths of viscose fabric from Sew. I bought a 2.5 meter, which is a blue with white polka dots on. I haven't used that yet, but I do have plans for that. And then the other one was the turquoise, which I made the blouse, the Avid Seamstress blouse from. I then bought 2 grey, light grey and dark grey French terry sweatshirtings. The dark grey, I pre-washed them, I laid it out, cut something, and there were dark patches, like grease stains all over it, and like faded marks. And apart from the fact that it looked quite thin, it felt rough on the, like the inside of it. it was really bad quality, and so I emailed the company and with photos and just said, look, this is damaged, I'm not happy, can I have a refund? And they said, oh, is there anything else you'd like to choose? And I had looked and I was like, no, just my money back, please. So they refunded me for the faulty fabric, so I have deducted that off my total. I then bought a black, this was viscose, I couldn't work out last week what it was. So this is a black viscose with the white anchors on it. So we have that one, and then, where are we? Oh yes, then I had the fabric for the face mask. So the fabric for the face mask, I bought 1 metre, because it was on 20% off sale from Danielle, and then a half a metre, that again was 20% off as well. So they have been made, so I can tick those off. Those cotton fabrics, and they were made all into the face mask, and there was nothing left. I just kept cutting and cutting until I used the whole lot up. Then obviously the turquoise viscose made into the blouse, so that leaves me, the light grey was made into the Danielle top, but there's not enough stretch in it. The dark grey was faulty and I got a refund on that. That leaves, oh, and the Bengaline fabric, which is what I used the 12 for the Viki Sews trousers, so that was used. So that leaves, in terms of fabrics, I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And out of that 8, I have 2. Out of the 8, I have 2 fabrics which I haven't used. So obviously the third one was refunded, so I'm not including that. And then I have 2, so I have the black anchor and I have a blue viscose. So that's 3 fabrics left over from January. My total spend after receiving my refund was £64.32. Now I bought fabric and patterns because I was given £100 for Christmas from a family member, and so that's why I bought some fabric, and that's why I bought some bits and pieces in January. I don't have big plans to spend in February. I might buy a couple of things, but I'm working on quite a budget at the moment for various reasons. So the patterns that I bought were from Sinclair patterns. I had the Danielle top, and that was on a buy one get one free pattern. So my free pattern was the Juno fleece jacket. I bought the Melilot shirt by Deer Doe. I bought the Billy sweatshirt by Tilly and the Buttons, which I'm hoping to use soon, and the Anna pants from Viki Sews. I then bought the jacket, this was still in January, this was the New Look pattern, and then I also had 2 of those PDFs printed out, so I paid for the printing. So altogether I spent on patterns and printing £45.79. So in total spend for January for fabric and patterns with printing was £110.11. So I overspent by £10.11, which is effectively, that's probably the printing that I did. I could class that with 1 piece of fabric. So yeah, so I had £100 and I spent £110. I didn't think that was that bad, and I have obviously I've used over half of the fabrics that I purchased, so I'm quite pleased with that. The patterns that I bought are for different things. I'm hoping the jacket pattern might turn into a jacket for the wedding. Obviously I have the trouser pattern, the Billy sweatshirt is something I want to try, which is what I was going to cut the dark grey jersey fabric. They refunded me. I still have the faulty fabric, so I think what I'm going to do is cut into that just to see the size for the Billy sweatshirt by Tilly and the Buttons, and then if I need to make any alterations, you know, then I know what to do for when I get some good fabric. So I think I'm gonna, so it's not taking up space, and rather than just put it in the textile recycling, I'll use it as a toile to check the size, and then I know when I buy some good fabric that I can use it for that. So if you find it interesting to keep track of, if you want to know how much I spent, or if you want to compare it and you want to do that, pop me a comment down below. Because if you think I don't care, that's boring and I'll just spend whatever I want, that's fine. But if you do find it interesting and you want me to continue recording this every month in like expenditure, and you find it interesting, put me a comment to say yeah, yay or nay. Right, that was that one. Although I got the bullet journal, I haven't actually written plans, so I'm not that sure what I'm going to make in February. My birthday is the very start of March, and so February rushes by really quick because obviously it's not a leap year, so we've only got the 28 days. We're already on the, what date is it today? I'm recording this on the 3rd of February, so I don't have lots of time to make things. I would like to maybe make something for my birthday if we go out, but I don't know if we would. I think last year, because we were in lockdown, I think we just had a takeaway. But it would be nice to go out, and then whenever we go out, I'm like, I have nothing to wear. So I need to really think ahead. One year I did make a dress, and I literally wore it for my birthday, going out for a drink with my husband, and that was it. I didn't wear it again. So I really, this year, especially with the Sew Your Colours, I want to be more sustainable in my wardrobe. I want to make things that I will love and that I will wear and that I can change up and wear. If I make a dress, I can like put a jumper over it and wear it with some trainers, or I can dress it up with a jacket or something and be a bit more versatile. It might just be that I make a jumper because it's so cold and wear it with jeans, or maybe a blouse. I'm not really sure. I have no idea. I don't have lots of choice in fabric. I seem to have lots of shirting fabrics for some reason. I must have been in the mood for making shirts. So I might make a couple more shirts, but I wanted to make something a bit different for my birthday. So I'm not sure. Do you make like an outfit or something for your birthday or for like a special occasion? If you do, tell me what was the one you made most recently. Maybe I can get some ideas from you. Just wing it this month. See what I've got. Use some of the fabrics. I bought a couple of shirting fabrics before Christmas time, and obviously I've got some shirting fabrics that I purchased in January. So I really want to start using those up, which also means that I'm not spending and I'm using the things that I have just bought recently. So I will keep you posted. Don't forget to follow the hashtag SewYourColours22, spelled 2 different ways. Either way, you'll find me. And don't forget to tag me in your posts if you'd like me to share them on my social media. And in the meantime, don't forget to hop over and watch the playlist for Sew Your Colours. And thank you for watching. I will see you over there.